here today to show you how to paint your analogous animal background. We're going to try a choice of two different techniques, but first you have to get the correct color. You want to look at your color scheme and determine which color is going to have the most contrast. So since I used yellow, green, and blue as my color scheme for my giraffe, green is the middle color, so red will have the most contrast. There is also a lot of yellow in my piece, so doing something that could be a reddish purple would also be an option. So I would stick to those colors, but I want the main color to be red. So because of that, I'm going to use my watercolors, and I'm going to be painting with a nice heavy flat wash of color. So I'm going to get a large amount of red on my brush, and I'm going to start tiptoeing as close to my giraffe as I can to start laying down that flat wash. If you're painting on a surface, make sure you protect the surface with something. So get a messy mat or something, or if your parents don't mind you getting it on the table, you can paint on the table. But be very careful, make sure you get the edges of your paper for sure. You want to lay down a big, nice flat wash of color. And you're going to do that over your whole thing. But it would be very boring if we stopped there. So we are going to also experiment with a couple of different techniques, which I'm going to show you both on my paper. So once you have your color painted in a large area, you could add a really cool texture to it with one of these two techniques. I will be showing you both. I want you to pick one to do, and you can always test one out on your paper. So you can use a paper towel now that those areas are painted, and you can kind of crumble it up a little bit. You can even tear it into smaller sections, and you lay your paper towel on top of what you just painted, almost like a stamp. So you're going to blot up color. And if you turn your paper towel in certain directions and try to get those wrinkly, crinkly parts, it picks up the paint in some spots and just leaves a really cool light texture to that area. If you wind up not liking it, you can always just paint back over it so the colors look nice and solid again, so that you don't see that very texture. So maybe the first time you tried it, you didn't like it so much. It was kind of flat. I wanted something a little more wrinkly. There you go. So I can try that a couple different ways, turning my paper towel to pick up different sections. The other option that you can do is use regular old salt. I've got kosher salt here, but table salt will work fine. And if you take this and sprinkle this on your paper, the salt will actually absorb parts of the paint, and it has to sit over time, and you'll see it soak it up, and it will do this really cool like polka dot kind of effect to it. So you're gonna leave it sit and dry. So I'm gonna finish the rest of mine, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it dries.